Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. If you don't know who I am, hello, I'm Alex. I'm an artist, illustrator. Yeah, but I say it's been a while because I haven't been vlogging lately, and that's just because I've been kind of busy trying to get back into work, and also I've been under the weather for the majority of January, but today is a day that I feel good enough to be on camera. So I did my face and I wanted to share with you my book collection. If you watch my vlogs, you'll have seen my books stacked up on multiple bookshelves everywhere. And I continue to collect books. The majority of the books that I collect are art books, art of books, and just like cute fun books that inspire me and I love to look at. I think a good book that just has a compilation of artists' work is really nice. So I'm gonna share with you all those books. Oh, it's a lot. Like I have one stack next to me right now because I cannot stack every single book that I have, and it's a big stack already. I'm just looking at it right now. I also have books that are not related to art that I'll share at the end of this if you're interested in those, like stuff that I just read for fun or have read and just collect. Another note about these books is that I get a ton of books as gifts because I love books. So I didn't buy all of these, but I bought like the majority of them. And so with that, let's get on to the book haul. It's not a haul, the book collection. Starting off with the first book, which is this one right here. This is 80s Girly Magazine ad collection. I got this when I went to Japan last year, and if you watched my Japan haul, I bought a ton of books in Japan, so you'll see those again here. But this one is just filled with a ton of cute 80s girly magazines, lots of Sanrio stuff in it, which is why I really wanted it. Lots of like makeup and accessories, and I just thought it was super cute. I really like the color palette that's in a bunch of these ads, so I tend to use those as inspiration as well. But that's book number one. Very cute. Cool. I'm trying to breeze through these. Next book, this right here. This is called Palette Perfect. I've also talked about this book in one of my vlogs too because I struggle the most with color palettes, which is really funny because in like my career and job, I make a lot of colorways for patterns. And I think when I'm drawing personally or for like my illustrations, I struggle to combine a bunch of different colors. And I used to be really good at that before, but I think I lost it after college because I did take a lot of color theory classes and then like it just escaped out of my ears. But this book is really nice because it has a bunch of different color combinations. It's also like categorized. There's like natural colors, magical colors, dreamy colors, curiosity colors. But what I really like about it is that it has the CMYK and RGB codes. So if you're drawing digitally, which I tend to do a lot, and having the codes is really nice and easy. So that's what I use that one for. This next book I recently got, and I've just like browsed through it. This is Illustrator's Sketchbooks. And I thought it was really nice just to have like a compilation of multiple artists in one book. I have a lot of books that are like that, but I do enjoy seeing other people's styles, other people's sketchbooks. And this sketchbook book actually inspired me to like fill my sketchbooks a little bit more. So at the beginning of the year, I've just been drawing in my sketchbook as often as I can and like filling up a page. And it's been really cute. So I can't wait to show you guys that. I mean, my patrons will probably have seen it already, but I will be sharing some of my sketchbook content soon as well. But it's just a really pretty book, so diverse. I love art. I love art and I love artists, so it's just really nice to see what people are doing and why people are doing it too. There's a lot of nice little excerpts on the side as well about the artist. So I also like learning about the art as well. This book I've had for years, since like college, because I love Steven Universe, and this is Art and Origins of Steven Universe. And this was one of my all-time favorite books. When Steven Universe came out, I believe I was in high school. was it that long ago? I don't even remember. But I got this as a gift from now father-in-law, and I was just so happy because I love Steven Universe, and I used to draw a lot of Steven Universe characters and do a lot of Steven Universe fan art. And that's because of this book, because I just had the references and the story, and yeah. I've also had this next book for years as well. I don't even know how to express my love for Tangled. If you are a friend or family member of mine, you know that I am obsessed with Tangled. I still am to this day. It's like dwindled down, but every time I see something Tangled, I'm like, but Art of Tangled book. My mom actually bought this for me because I wanted this so bad, like so bad. I'll never forget the first time that I watched Tangled, because it was like during Christmas and I was there with my mom and my sister and my little brother, and it was just so magical. So this book I like coveted. I was like, I need this book, Mom, please, please, please. Please, can you get this for me? And she did, and I was so happy because love everything about Tangled. The art style, the characters, thought it was so pretty. This I haven't really looked back at in a long time. It's just a nice memory to have, but if I ever want to do something fun and magical and whimsical, this is a good inspiration book for me. Ooh, now we're getting to the art of books. And this book I got at the Kinokuniya, is that how you say it? Kinokuniya bookstore in Japantown in San Francisco. And this is The Art of Iraville. I follow a ton of illustrators on Instagram. Anytime they have a book, I'm like on the search for it. Most of the time I get them serendipitously, like if I'm at a bookstore and I see one of their books, like, oh, I have to buy it. That's just how it is, and that's how I've gotten this collection. But The Art of Iraville is so nice, especially for like landscape inspiration and just like everyday things that just are so whimsical in the way that she draws them. The artist's name is Ira. I'm in love with the way that she paints trees. It's just so, it is really cozy. Like her art style, I would just call cozy. Like I look at it and I feel warm and I feel happy. So definitely one of my favorite artists, and I love her book because, I don't know, again, I really like reading about the process and what people are thinking and how they come up with these things, because it's something I struggle with too. So let's move on to another artist, and this is The Art of Loish, another art of book. Again, all of these art of books are pretty similar in that it's just like the process and behind the scenes of how these artists work and like their background, and then how they got to where they are today and their art style. So always inspiring. I love the lighting in Loish's artworks. I think that's one thing that I never incorporate in my illustrations, is just like ambiance and lighting, but they do it so well. So just so pretty. Ugh. I believe I got this one from like Barnes & Noble as well. Next book. Oh, this is one of my all-time favorite books. I go back to this one a lot, and I put it in the most inconvenient place. So it's like at the bottom of that stack on my shelf. So I lift up everything else and then grab this from underneath. But it's like aesthetically it works on my shelf, and then it's also like exercise at the same time. But it is The Art of Heikala. And I hope I'm saying that right as well. But oh my gosh. They're the reason that I am like back on traditional art more than ever. But everything is done with pencil, watercolor, ink. It's just like that was my dream. Was to be able to create such intricate and beautiful artworks like this just with traditional media. And I feel like I mess up too much to do this. So I'm trying to get better at it. But oh gosh, I can't even describe how amazing their art is. It's just, again, so dreamy, so whimsical, so fun, and just like there's a softness here. Softness. There's a softness here that is like really hard to achieve digitally. And I think it only comes from using watercolor and ink and just like all these traditional materials. Oh, I even love the sketches. They're so beautiful. Everything about their art is beautiful. Oh, love it so much. And the cover too is just so pretty to look at. But again, I got this from Barnes & Noble. So Barnes & Noble, sponsor me because I have a gold membership or whatever the new membership's called. Okay, that was one stack of books, and now I just grabbed another stack of books while also like just crashing everything down on my bookshelf. So I have to clean that afterwards. But moving on to stack number 2, which has a ton of other good stuff. I mean, I think personally all of these are good stuff because I bought them, but yeah. Boom, here is another book. This is Polaris and the Art of Miyoko. Again, just another artist who I am truly inspired by. Like, oh, everything is so kawaii. I say aggressively. There's a style here and a harmonious look to all of their work that I just want to be able to achieve one day. And it's just so cute and sweet. And I also use this book again as a source of color inspiration as well as like content inspiration. I actually got this book on Valencia Street in San Francisco at a bookstore called Dog-Eared Books. Next book is this color scheme book. I feel like everyone has this book as well. Color Scheme, an irreverent history of art and pop culture in color palette. I bought this at SF MoMA because I always have to buy something when I'm at that store because it's one of like the best art stores, I think, or like art museum gift shops. They get me every single time, but I was just really bored that day and so I bought this book. And it's just nice. It has art history of like different Renaissance paintings, the color palette, the color names, and then like artists, celebrities. They got Tanya Harding's figure skating costume. They got Dennis Rodman's hair. And again, I have a lot of color books because I struggle with color, so that's why I have this one. Next book I also got from Barnes & Noble. I have to stop going there because, yeah. This book is rated teen 13 plus because of these. Topic Girl, The Art of June. I've also shown this in a recent vlog because this is like one of the newer books that I've received. And you know, I love a big booby girl. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah. I'm flipping through this and I have no words. It's just, yeah. You know. Next book is another art book, and again I got this in Japantown at the Kinokuniya bookstore, and again one of my all-time favorite artists. Big fan. I have a bunch of her prints somewhere on my wall, but this is the Art of Sibylline, another traditional artist. I know she does some digital work too, but the reason I put stars and stuff everywhere like a bunch of other artists is because of her. I just want to be able to use gouache as well as she does. I bought her, oh my god, what was the collaboration called? She had an art box collaboration. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll put it on screen, where she had like her favorite gouache in the set, her palette, and then that's where I got a bunch of the prints from, and then like a personalized sketchbook and practice book. So yeah, that I got because of her. And her book Reverie, so nice and beautiful, and I just love having her art close to me at all times because it just makes me so happy. It's so fun going through these books because I do look at like the same 5 books every single time and forget that I have like a million books just lying around. So it's nice to like go through this with you guys. Another artist that I love, they're like all artists that I love. Sketch with Asia. This is manga inspired art and tutorials by Asia Ladowska. Barnes & Noble sponsor me because I'll continue to buy books, I promise. As long as there's art books in the world, I will buy them. And my dream is to make one in the future as well. I just love looking at things and having them readily available to look at and like not searching through the internet to see things. Her tools are here. I know what she's using. I could go buy these tools right now if I wanted to. I mean, not right now, but online, you know? It really goes into depth about her process. There's just so much good tips in here that I suggest you get this book, especially if you have trouble drawing hands. This is the book that I go to for advice on drawing hands because I suck at drawing hands and she's amazing at drawing hands. Very beautiful. As you see, every single cover is just, ugh. Love looking at them. The next book that I got is this pie cuts book, and this is the art of Soryu. Illustration works, illustration making, and a visual book. I got this one in Japan. And this book I actually really use a lot. I love how their characters look. They're so colorful and happy, and like even the ones that are inspired by Sanrio characters, they're just so fun. So this one I've been using a lot for inspiration and just like pose inspiration as well, because that's something that I struggle with. It's just like not having them stand there like yeah, just flipping through makes me so happy. I think that's just the main thing about all these things. I just look through and I feel good. And I feel inspired. Like I want to draw right now because I'm looking at all of these things. That's the main reason I have a million books. The same thing with the next book. I also got this one in Japan. This one is vitamin colored and it is art of kaku lemon. This one's so fun. They remind me, like, there's such a nostalgic feeling looking through this book. Reminds me of like old comics, old manga, like a cool modern way of looking at old comics. So it's also a good example of how the art style is so consistent even with different color palettes, that I know who did this and I love it. Next book. This one is the art of Josie Shimazaki, and it's called Long Season. I actually got this one in the Philippines from Fully Booked in BGC. I wasn't expecting to get this because I didn't know who the artist was at first, but now I'm obsessed because it's beautiful. Like how people can take everyday things and make them seem so magical through illustration is incredible. Like incredible talent to have. Like a woman just holding balloons, but she looks like she's from another world. Very beautiful and picturesque and just, I'm happy I discovered this artist, so thanks Fully Booked. I'll be back in the Philippines. Another book from Japan is this one. This is New Girls Illustration. It's another like compilation book. The next 4 books after this one will also be like compilation of illustrators books, but I've shared these before. This was in my haul as well, but these are just great books to get inspired by like a multitude of artists. It gives their media, a small profile about them, and it gives all of their handles in case you wanted to follow them. And I did go through a bunch of these and followed a ton of people. There are a lot of people that I was already following. Like this one also has kaku lemon in it. So I just love women, you know? I love women. And I only draw women too. Just see different art styles. I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but it's all valid. Like this is how I feel about every single book that I have. It's just big inspiration boosts. It's like going to a museum, but like in your house, because all the art is with you. And yeah, I tend to get very inspired by museums. So having people's art around me just makes me want to create art as well. Next book is Scenes of Korea, and this is another illustration book. This is an illustration Scenes of Korea. Talents renewing common sense and moving global trends. I bought this in Japan though. That was my big regret when I went to Seoul last year. I didn't buy any books, and I kind of overcompensated in Japan and bought too many books. So I'm trying to find the balance there. That's my goal when I travel, is to also buy books. wherever I go. Anyways, another compilation book, another book to go through and like follow the artists because their handles are here and information about them's here. And it's just nice to discover new people. Like, I think for the next couple books, I'm gonna say the same thing, so I'm just gonna zoom through them. This one, Illustration 2023. I got this one from Japan as well. Yeah, I'm flipping through so you guys can see how beautiful everything is. Just so beautiful, so nice. And this one is a thick book, so there's so many illustrators in it. I actually bought this one in Japan because I had Illustration 2020, which you guys will see. And I ordered that one off Amazon in 2020. So when I saw them like actually in the store, I was like, oh, I should just buy this one. So I did. It's a very pretty book. This next book is another illustration book, but this one's illustration file. And I actually got this one in the Philippines as well, I think. Did I get this one from Fully Booked too? I think I got 2 books from there, but I'm not sure. It's either the Philippines or Japan. One of those 2. Same concept though. All different illustrators, their information, lots of things to get inspired by. But this one's different because it's kind of like a little spread versus like one giant illustration. This is like a spread of multiple things that they've done. And I like that too. Just like see the variety of what people are capable of or doing right now. Very cute. And the girl on the front makes me laugh every time because like this pose. What's this pose? It's beautiful, like front and back, different poses. Just hilarious. Anyways, the next book is the Illustration 2020. Boom. So this one, like I said, I got in 2020 during the pandemic through Amazon. And I was just like searching books on Amazon because what else were you gonna do in 2020? And that's where my love for these books came because I was like, oh my god, there's so much information in here and so many people to like follow and support. So yeah, this one I love too. And I always have to go through and double check that I'm following these people. Like I feel like I've done it, but like these books are so thick. Okay, that was another stack down. Let me go get another stack without ruining everything on my shelf. Okay, next stack. Out of breath because these ones are heavier and I had to move like a bunch of stuff. But all of these were gifts. So the first one is this. Boom, Printmaking by Mary Meko. And I love Mary Meko. I work with a lot of pattern in my job and it's always inspiring to see what very successful pattern makers are doing. If you're interested in like fashion and patterns, look up Mary Meko if you haven't. Stuff is everywhere. Very beautiful book. This next book I really love. It is from the Rainbow's Varied Hue Textiles of Southern Philippines. Again, another gift. When I was in college, I majored in textile design. That's what I graduated with. Originally, I wanted to be an animator, but the classes were impacted, so I just did a bunch of studio stuff and then fell in love with textiles and weaving and printmaking. So I did a lot of that in college and I got gifted this at the time. And one of the final art pieces that I made for my studio class, I wove a sarong that like I hung up on the wall and then I made like an outfit, like a terno outfit with butterfly sleeves. But this book is very beautiful and anything about the Philippines I always want to know more about because I'm Filipino American. Just nice to connect with my culture. So this book really helped me when I was creating my art pieces in college. And I'm gonna look if I have pictures because it's been a very long time and I don't know if I've gotten rid of those pictures. I really hope I didn't. Anyways, this book just brought memories of that back. The next book again is another gift. And it's a very pretty book and I follow these guys on Instagram. This is the Fashionable Filipina. It is an evolution of Philippine national dress in photographs. Which photographs? Are you kidding me? 1860 to 1960. This book inspired a ton of like terno drawings that I did a few years ago that got pretty popular. But I was just like redrawing the women that I saw in these books and people really liked them, so it was nice to see. But man, I wish we still dressed like this. I know a lot of it is, you know, based on colonialism too, which is not great, but pretty fire. Just gonna say, like, I'd love to wear one of these old. I know there's a lot of modern Filipino dress, and Theranos, Maria Clara, a lot of things have been very modernized in a like chic, super chic way. I'll show on screen what I'm talking about, but there's something so beautiful. This one right here with the spider webs, okay, she's giving a Spider-Verse. And I really like it. I think I'm gonna redraw that one actually, now that I see it, but so fashionable. Yeah, whenever I want to draw like a fashionable outfit inspired by the Philippines, this is a good book to have. And it comes with this cover, which is really nice because I don't know if I destroy books or not. Another next heavy book is this Wolpe book. And Wolpe is a fashion designer. If you watch like Met Gala red carpets, like one that was really famous was the Rihanna gold dress, and I saw that in person because she had an exhibit at the Legion of Honor, and yeah, everything was really beautiful. This book is actually heavy, like who's holding this? But again, this was a gift. And yeah, just another incredibly talented fashion designer. Man, whoa, these books are so heavy. Okay, I have so much more books, but they're like in a difficult place, so I'm gonna go try to grab those too. Okay, more heavy books. Why is every book heavy? The next book is this book right here, Nada. Ba-bam. I got this at Barnes & Noble. But it's the art of Yoshimoto Nara, and they're also one of my favorite artists because like the style of their art feels very juvenile, but like not at the same time. I don't even know if that makes sense. But this one I got recently and I haven't looked through or read the whole thing, so just wanted to like briefly go through. But I do want to read it because I want to know about their life and why they draw this way. I think the art is so cute. Kobe, my husband, is like afraid of art styles like this because he's like really afraid of like big heads and big eyes. This book I have yet to go through, but that's one book I recently got while just walking around. This book is Takashi Murakami, and oh my god, I hope I can go see his exhibit at the Asian Art Museum before it's gone. I only have like a few days, I think. I might try to go this weekend actually. But I love Murakami. This book was also a gift for Christmas, so I haven't been able to go through it yet. But I'm very excited because I love Murakami's art and I really want to go to the exhibit. I'm trying to whip through these, I have so much. Next book is Nathalie Dupasquier. Don't take these drawings seriously. This is also another gift. I didn't know who this artist was, but I received this as a gift, and yes, it's very my style. Lots of patterns and funky colors. Like, this book is just really fun, and yeah, my brain is slowly like, you're hungry, stop talking. So I'm not gonna be very articulate towards the end of this video, I see, but I love this artist's style. It kind of reminds me of just like going crazy in your sketchbook or notebook, but in like a more sophisticated and thought out way. Another color palette inspiration, especially the front cover too, like this red, this like baby blue that's like kind of bright, and white. I love that color palette. Not gonna lie, I took a break to go eat lunch. But moving on, next book is this book right here, Hayao Miyazaki, and it is about the world of Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli and the concepts and creation of all of their characters. Funny story, I got this as a gift, this one specifically, but I also bought one of these myself and I felt bad that like they bought this for me and I was like, oh, I didn't want to tell them that I already had it. So what I did was I gifted it to somebody else. So technically this is still a gift. So the book starts off with Miyazaki. I think he is the funniest man because he always goes into retirement and then comes out of retirement and then just like creates a banger. He's just funny. But I love Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki's art style and just everything. Yeah. Man, even being full, I'm not articulate. The next book is The Art of Leia Lopez. And this one's called Iridescent. I have been following her for a long time, but I actually got this one in Spain. I believe I bought it in Barcelona. It was kind of like a comic book store too that had a lot of figurines and stuff. That's why Kobe and I went in. And then I saw this book there and I was like, oh, cool. And it was funny because the person who worked there at the register, she was like, this is in Spanish. Did you know that? And I was like, oh yeah, it's okay. But looking through, it's actually in Spanish and in English. So that's really nice. But I love Leia. And everyone draws fan art, right? But her fan art is like on another level. I feel like I have so much in common with her in our interests. So that's why I really like her book. Like, she has a lot of Genshin Impact, K-pop fan art, she has Anastasia fan art. There's so much. And then she has her original characters too, which I love. She's also cosplayed as some characters and she looks good. I just love her art style. Love this book. Moving on to the next book. I actually got this one in Berkeley it was called Half Price Books. I think it's near the university. I don't know if it's on Telegraph if you're from Berkeley, but it's like a big bookstore over there that I just walked into. I know this is an anime or a manga, like a really old one. I don't want to say really old. That kind of feels rude. I'm so sorry. But Gale Force Starfront. I was just looking through it and it was so nostalgic. Like, I've never seen this before, but I did look it up after, but it gave me, you know, like the early 90s anime vibes. Of course, it gave me like Sailor Moon vibes, a little bit of Dragon Ball Z vibes, Ranma vibes. But anyways, I thought it was a very cute find. I especially love like anything chibi, so they had a few chibi pages in here. Very cool book. The next few books are also gifts. Again, I get a lot of gifted books. And they're more Studio Ghibli books. So this one's The Art of My Neighbor Totoro, which is one of my favorite movies of all times. Whenever I'm sad, I just watch Totoro. Because like, it just comforts me in a weird way. Totoro and Spirited Away and Kiki's Delivery Service. Those are my three favorite. Also, Whisper of the Heart. If I want to be sad, or not sad, if I want to be emotional, I watch Whisper of the Heart. That's like my sleeper favorite. Again, this is just The Art of Totoro, and then it has a bunch of the concept sketches, a bunch of screen grabs. And if I ever want to recreate a screen grab, I just look at this book. But I have this one, and then I also have The Art of Spirited Away, which was also gifted. On Spirited Away, there's so much beautiful scenes in here. I mean, in any Studio Ghibli movie, there are. The tunnels, the flowers, everything. I kind of used to be scared of this movie when I was little, and then I rewatched it again like a few times throughout my life, and I was like, it kind of is scary for a child, but it's okay. Once you know what it's really about, then it's not that scary. But like, yeah, I used to be afraid of No Face, but now I love him. I've made a bunch of like stickers based on these characters. There's that. Oh god, you can actually see this stack in frame. And then the last book on that stack is this one. This is Pasipa Abad. She was a Filipino artist, mixed media, lots of paintings, lots of embroidery, stitching. She was so cool. But she had an exhibit at the SF MoMA for a few months, and it just closed. I think last Sunday was the last day, but I went twice. She was such an incredible artist. I got this book on my birthday, so even before the exhibit was out, my boss bought me this book, and I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. How did she even know who this artist was? Because I'd never heard of her in my life, which is unfortunate, but now I'm happy that I know she is, because her work is incredible. This is like who I was trying to be again in college, and I really wish that I had found her work while I was doing my things in college, because I think she would have really helped me out a lot in figuring out like style and what I want to do. That exhibit, I have footage of it and I could include it here, but so great. They're like gigantic works of art. And I believe it was just her who did it, because I don't think she had a team at the time. And she was so funny. There's one exhibit where it was like all ocean themed and underwater themed, I guess. And when she presented those works, she showed up to the exhibit in a scuba uniform. So she's just like a really cute, quirky person, and I wish she was still around, because she sounds like the fun tita that everybody wants to hang out with. But yeah, and even just the style of this book, like the cover, one of the prettiest cover books. I love like looking at it, and like even the side, look at that, so nice. Highly recommend this book, or like you looking up this artist, because Pasita, she's so cool. So that was my entire book collection. As you can see, I have a ton of books, so many books, like an absurd amount of books, but I want even more. It's like my dream to have just like a wall of bookshelves that's just covered in books, and then have a sliding ladder and be like Belle and just like, you know, just like go through and just like pick a book. And I hope you guys liked this video. Again, if you want me to go in depth about the books that are not like art or illustration related, let me know and I could just do that too. But I figured this is gonna be a long video and I wanted it to be about the art and books that I actually use for inspiration. I feel like I've just been talking all morning and my voice is a little hoarse, but yeah, hope you guys like this video. I will link every single book that I have. That's an ambitious thing to say, but I will link it. So if you're interested in a certain book, I'll have it down below. We'll be going to Paris soon, so hopefully I'll get a few good books from Paris and add that to my collection. But other than that, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'll have links to my social media, my Patreon, my Instagram. I don't even know what else is down there. My website, my shop, oh my god. There's so many things down there. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which hopefully will be a studio tour. It's so messy in my room right now, so. See you guys in the next video. Bye!